All right, reviewing from last week in quadratic equations, we are looking at finding the vertex of this quadratic equation. And to find the vertex, we are going to type it into Desmos. We know that the vertex is going to be either the highest point, okay, or the lowest point. And because this graph opens down, it is the highest point of the graph, which is at -2, 13. Right, the equations that we're going to be looking at in this lesson are absolute value equations. And the graph of an absolute value, as you can see, the graph of the parent function y equal absolute value of x is a V-shaped graph. The vertex of the absolute value parent function is at the origin, and that is the ordered pair 0, 0. It has what is called an axis of symmetry. And an axis of symmetry, just like in a quadratic equation, is a vertical line that is going to go through that vertex that divides the graph into two equal parts. So if I was to draw my axis of symmetry, it would be the vertical line x equals 0 because it goes through the origin 0, 0. The domain of an absolute value function is always going to be from -infinity to infinity, always going to be. Transformations do not affect the domain. The range, due to the fact that the range is always positive, is going to be from 0 to infinity. The range is going to be affected by the horizontal, or excuse me, the vertical shift up or down. So that will change the actual range. All right, we've seen this slide many, many times with all different types of equations. We are looking at the transformations in terms of an absolute value function. The negative symbol, remember, represents a reflection. If the negative is outside, like it is shown here, that is going to represent a reflection over the x-axis. If the negative sign had been inside, let's say that we had this, and the negative sign is inside, that represents a reflection over the y-axis. So depending upon where that negative sign is will determine which axis it reflects over. A, just like before, is the number times, which is outside. If A is greater than 1, it is a stretch. If A is less than 1, it is a compression. H, that is added or subtracted inside the absolute value, is a horizontal shift. We know that that moves left or right, and it is in the opposite direction. So if we have minus H, that is moving to the left or to the right. If we have plus H, that is moving to the left. And K represents the vertical shift. If it is plus K, the graph is moving up. If it is minus K, the graph is moving down. All right, identify the transformations, vertex, axis of symmetry, domain, and range of this function. All right, so the transformations, I'm going to do those first. The -1 inside, we know, is going to be a horizontal shift. And because it is -1, it means it is moving to the right 1. The 7 is added at the end. It is a +7. This is going to be a vertical shift, and we are going to move this up 7. Okay, the vertex, and I did not write that one down, we're going to find by graphing this function. So I'm going to go to Desmos, and I'm going to type in y is equal to the absolute value of x minus 1 plus 7. Okay, and we can see that our graph is shown. It is a V shape. It has been moved to the left one, to the right one, and it has been moved up 7. So I'm going to find my vertex point by clicking on this point. All right, and when I do that, that shows me that my vertex is at the point 1, 7. The axis of symmetry is the vertical line that goes through that vertex. Therefore, I'm going to draw my vertical line through the vertex. And the axis of symmetry is going to be the vertical line x is equal to 1, because 1 is the x value in the ordered pair representing the vertex. Okay, domain is always going to be negative infinity to infinity. Now, the range, since this graph was moved up, normally the range of the parent function is from 0 to infinity. But due to the fact that this graph moved up, you can see that the smallest value of this absolute value function graph is the y value in the vertex, which is 7. Therefore, my range is going to go now from 7 to infinity. All right, in this problem, it asks for the vertex. To get the vertex, again, we are just going to type this into Desmos. And when we type this into Desmos, we are going to get a graph that is a V that opens downward. And I'm going to type this in again. So you have y is equal to negative 6 times the absolute value of x plus 3, and then minus 1. Okay, you can see that it is a V-shaped graph. It is opening down. And the reason it's opening down is because of this negative. Okay, it is skinnier, which means that 6 is a stretch. It made that graph skinnier. The plus 3 shifted it 3 units to the left, and the minus 1 shifted it down. To find my vertex, I'm just going to click on the point, and my vertex in this particular problem is going to be the ordered pair negative 3, negative 1, which is answer B. Negative 3, negative 1. So to get this vertex, I'm just typing into Desmos, determining the highest point or the lowest point of the graph. All right, on this one, we're going to go through all of it. We're going to do the transformations, the vertex, the axis of symmetry, the domain, and the range of the function. The transformations, the 2 is times. Therefore, this is a stretch. The plus 3 is added inside. Therefore, that is a horizontal shift. And it is the opposite, left 3. And the minus 5 at the end is a vertical shift, and it shifted it down 5. All right, to get my vertex, I'm going to type this in. I'm going to have y is equal to 2 times the absolute value of x plus 3 minus 5. And let me move my graph a little bit. We can see that it has shifted over 3 because now the vertex is not at 0, 0. It is at x equal negative 3. And the minus 5 shifted the graph down 5. So my vertex is the ordered pair, -3, -5. The axis of symmetry, we know, is the vertical line that goes through that vertex. And the equation is going to be the x value of the ordered pair. So my axis of symmetry is x equal -3. My domain is always -infinity to infinity. Okay, my range is determined by the y value of the ordered pair. The y value is -5. So instead of the range being from 0 to infinity, it is going to be from -5 to infinity. All right, we are looking at finding the domain and the range of the function f of x is equal to -1/4 times the absolute value of x minus 5 minus 3. You can see in this, and based on the transformations, the negative did reflect it over the x-axis. The 1/4 is a compression, and look how wide that absolute value function has gotten. The minus 5 shifts it 5 to the right, and the minus 3 shifted it down 3. I'm going to find my vertex, okay, and my vertex of this particular graph is at this point, and this point is the ordered pair 5, -3. Okay, my domain I know is always going to be -infinity to infinity. So I can kind of use process of elimination looking at my answers. The domain of A is not -infinity to infinity. B is, C is, and D is not. So my answer has to either be B or C. Now, when we learned in quadratic functions and radical functions, when the graph was reflected over that x-axis, that also reflects that range. So this is a maximum value, a highest point. All of the x values, or the y values, I'm sorry, are going to be less than or equal to -3. So in order to show the range as less than or equal to -3, that means that we're going from -3 to -infinity. To write this, -infinity always is going to go on the left-hand side, and it is going to -3, which is a bracket. So the range should be from -infinity to -3. If the graph is going down, then that range is going to be -infinity, and that has to go first in the range. All right, I'm asked which of the following is the graph, and this is just a matter of typing it into Desmos. And what I would look at on Desmos is the vertex point. The vertex point is -3, -1. So I would look at the vertex of each of the graphs that are shown. This vertex point is 3, -1. That is not the same. This vertex is 3, 1. This vertex is -3, 1. And this vertex is -3, -1. Therefore, matching the vertex, my answer would be answer B. All right, and we're kind of going backwards. We are told what the transformations are, and we have to write the equation. We have that it has been reflected over the x-axis. It is translated 2 units left. It is vertically compressed by a factor of 1/3 and translated up 4 units. So we are going to take the parent function, y is equal to the absolute value of x, and we are going to add these transformations. All right, so I'm going to add the first one. Reflected over the x-axis means that there is a negative outside the absolute value. All right, so now I'm going to bring this down. Translated 2 units left means that I'm going to always do the opposite in terms of adding or subtracting. So going left means that I'm going to add 2 inside that absolute value. So now I have the equation y is equal to negative absolute value of x plus 2. Okay, I'm going to bring that down. And I am told that it is vertically compressed by a factor of 1/3. Vertically compressed means that the number is times that absolute value. So I'm going to add that number times. And now I have y equal negative 1/3 times the absolute value of x plus 2. So that's going to be my equation that I start with. And translated up 4 units means that I am adding 4 at the end. Now, I could have just looked at the answers and said, reflecting over the x has a negative, so A cannot be. Vertically compressed by a factor of 1/3 means that it's going to have a 1/3 in it, so C could not be. Translated 2 units left means I'm going to have 2 added inside, and that's the only one that does. And then up 4 would be plus 4 at the end. All right, I am testing for the VGA and the winter SOLs. Therefore, that is why I'm not in class. If you have any questions, please email me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.